First off, we're about that time where a year ago, week and a half, 2 weeks into spring practice, starting to hear really positive reports coming out of spring, specifically at the quarterback position with you. Then you go on the big field, have a nice scrimmage, and then you go down. What's your first sort of thought process there?
My first thought process for real was just get back in the training room, see what happened, and kind of just try to get through it. And then I had a lot of good, positive feedback from my teammates and my coaching staff and training staff. So it wasn't that hard to get through it. So it was kind of a good and smooth process, and I'm happy it happened.
So you talk about being happy that it's happening now. When you go through spring into fall camp and those first couple games, it's got to be almost agonizing. Now you're not traveling, but you're standing on the sideline, still supporting. It's got to be like, man, I know, like I just can't be out there.
No, yeah, for sure. It was a lot of supporting the boys from the sideline, especially that first couple of games when in Georgia when they played Mercedes-Benz. I'm at home with a couple of the guys that weren't traveling, just watching, supporting them, cheering them on. So getting like that, it just made me love the game even more because I was away from it so much. So getting back into it now is just making me love the game and falling in love with it again.
So you talk about you get into the season. It obviously kind of unravels to a certain point. What is your reaction, obviously, after the Old Dominion game when it goes that way?
I mean, my first reaction was just trying to get back in the locker room, talk to the boys, see how it was. And after that, it was kind of a different swing with Pryor getting fired. And some of the guys hopped in the portal, stuff like that. So some things got kind of weird, but I'm not gonna lie, Cheetah and all the coaches kind of formed together and kind of just made the bondhood strong, even more strong. And I feel like it went straight after that. We kind of got closer after that happened, and we kind of bonded more.
So your reaction, you talk about it, it opens up that one-time portal period. There's so much tumultuousness going on online, and I mean, let alone in the locker room. How does that kind of shatter or shake a group? It said it made you stronger after, but I mean, I know you were on the sideline last year, but going through summer workouts, fall workouts, it's like, were we really all together on this? But then there's the same side of like, go get yours, man. Where do you kind of fall on that? It's a really delicate balance in this day and age.
Yeah, I'm about to say now with college football how it is today, you kind of, I wouldn't say you got to put yourself first, but this is a business at the end of the day. But I feel like when you're a part of a team, I feel like sometimes you got to finish it out however it is. I like how some of the guys that were getting called up from other schools and other places, they stayed in the Virginia Tech locker room and they played throughout the season. So it kind of shows who out there a person, who they really was as a person, and show who they really really dedicated for.
Now, in those couple weeks after, obviously being let go earlier in the year, there's a ton of speculation. A bunch of jobs are opening up. What you specifically in the locker room, are you following the stuff, the rumors, which coaches are visiting, who could potentially be that next head coach, as you're also weighing your future decision?
I mean, for real, no, not really. I'm just kind of focused on for me, I was just focused on getting back better, getting in rehab, and just trying to get back on the field as soon as possible. So at that point, I feel like most of the guys not really worried about the off the field issues, just trying to worry about themselves, trying to get better for real on the field.
Now, when you get the notification that it finally does get announced, James Franklin, the next head coach, reaction, thoughts, group chats, what kind of happened after that?
I was excited for real. So I went to Penn State once and during high school recruiting and met him, and it was really good time. So I feel like when that finally happened, it was a lot of positive feedback, especially me and my family, and I was really excited just to meet him again and just kind of talk schemes and stuff like that.
How long did it take, once he gets there, to actually sit down face to face and get acquainted?
I think when he first got here, first couple, literally, he probably got here, and in the first weeks, he started setting up meetings with the guys. So I had one of my meetings with them early, so it was a good talk. We talked about the future and how the program was running and how he can improve it.
What feedback, so often you hear about these coaches coming in, it's like the players are going to give you the truth one way or another, staffers between. What was one piece of feedback that you brought in that you saw was working, or something that you maneuvered that you were like, hey, let's take a look here?
I talked to him about just how the training staff was run, because I was spent so much time to do it at that time. So I just kind of talked to him just about how the training staff was ran and how good the people were in the building and how we want them to stay, and basically how basically all the stuff all the rehab and stuff that we've been doing has been working. So stuff like that, just positive feedback throughout the building and just giving the people credit where credit is due.
Yeah, there's a lot of good bones, not always ripping things up from the studs. I guess next off, you get in that big team meeting. and it becomes clearer and clearer. Hey, defensive coordinator might be a familiar face. As that starts to leak out, someone you're familiar with, but still, it's looking at it, it's pretty crazy. The head coach coming back as a defensive coordinator. When that first comes out and he first steps back in that corner room, the defense room, how has he been, I guess, taken back in by the team?
I mean, when I first heard the news, I was really excited because probably coach recruited me out of high school, so it was always good between both of us. So when I first heard the news, I was really excited. And then when he first came in the team meeting room, he talked to us, and everyone was clapping and stuff when he walked back in. Everyone was excited, stuff like that. So everyone is really excited about what Pride can bring and what the future is with him being the defensive coordinator.
Now you're back on the practice field, right? Getting back full through winter workouts. And I guess it's your third defense in 3 years because, you had Marv and then the Stevekiss last year and now back to Pry. Well, what has that adjustment been, getting back physically, but also mentally, picking up a familiar scheme in a way, but still, hearing it from a different voice?
Nah, for sure. It is kind of crazy thing about three different defenses in 3 years, but I feel like throughout the time I was out, I just kind of was a sponge with the football and kind of just learned football from different perspectives on the field. So I feel like it was kind of an easy transitions, kind of just getting off from that time off, just learning about football and learning about the X's and the O's. So it wasn't that hard just to get back in the schemes and get back in what Pride was bringing in.
So in that time off, you're taking time to learn more about football technique as well. How about some new faces? Transportal, you're bringing Cam Chadwick, Kenny Wosley. I mean, the list goes on and on. Jaquez White, Amari Polidor, true freshman. How was getting acquainted with those guys? A ton of guys coming into that DB room.
No, yeah. With the college football now, I feel like every kind of semester some new guys are going to come in now. But I feel like these guys just meshed in perfectly with the position group. And these guys are going to be really good. I'm really excited about what the corner room is going to bring next year. And, yeah, we got some guys.
Well, what have you seen from some of those new guys early? I mean, Jaquez White, Cam Chadwick.
Nah, yeah, I seen a lot of good stuff from them guys. I'm really excited to be playing a part right next to him across the field this year. But a lot of good guys. Kenny Wosley, the freshman, Amari. Yeah, I'm really excited for all the guys to get on the field and we're gonna make some plays.
It's kind of crazy because you've been here now for I guess 3 full cycles, but just the game in the Military Bowl, some late action there, but. How do you kind of become that elder statesman who's been returning? You talk about Amari Polidor, a guy who's a mid-year enrollee. He's got prom in a month and a half. How do you take that leadership role now, even though it feels like, I'm sure you're like, I'm just getting started?
Nah, yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm kind of like an older guy in the group, but I feel like I haven't even got a chance to really show the fans what I can do and show people what I can do. But from that perspective, I feel like I've been here for a while, so I feel like I can most definitely show these guys about where to go, how to do this, how to do this. So for sure, especially Amari coming from like the DMV area, stuff like that. I feel like I could be a little bit of a mentor of him, just showing him what was right and what's wrong, showing him on the field what are some good things, what are some bad things. So I feel like being that older guy, a little bit older guy in that group is for sure a good feeling. Especially last year, me being I was a mentor to Jamari, DeLoach, stuff like that. So just showing I am growing up a little bit, but speed for sure still kind of young in the field.
What have you seen? You bring him up, Jamari DeLoach, a guy, all-star track athlete down the 757 region, and you're talking about Jojo Kerman in class with him before those guys, where they come in last year and you get the opportunity to be in the meeting rooms, but see them kind of put it together on the field a little bit.
No, yeah, so those two are my guys, because I feel like when I went down, those two freshmen was definitely stood up for especially the corner group. Jamari, Jojo, those are some really good athletes for sure, especially with Jamari being that twitchy guy. But yeah, I'm excited for them when they get on the field too.
What's, you bring in a new coach, and it's honestly kind of crazy. Let's break this down where you probably start to hear murmurs of who's my position coach going to be. And there's a guy coaching for the Steelers who is an alumni here, Anthony Midgen, and it looks like he's going to coach corners. What's your reaction at that first, and then hearing, okay, later on, Nick Perry, guy who played for Nick Saban, is going to come in and actually be our coach? What was that process?
I mean, at first, I talked to Coach Midgen when he first got the job, and it was everything good for sure. He talked to my family, and I was excited for sure, especially him coming from the Steelers, especially him playing here for sure, so he knows how to DBU, all the history and stuff like that. So I was excited, and then when I heard Coach Perry got the job, I talked to him, and it wasn't like that. It didn't skip a beat. It was the same information, the same kind of energy, stuff like that. So I feel like it was perfect. I feel like everything worked out how the way it was, and I'm excited to work with Coach Perry.
Now that you're working with him, and you go through winter workouts, right? But that's just accelerated CrossFit in a way. Like, you're here to play football. You're on the field now with pads. What's some of the changes you've seen in him doing drills and how he coaches, just technique-wise, that you've been able to implement?
I like how he just starts off his drills and how he explains his stuff. I like his energy, especially on the field. Like, he's kind of a young coach, so he can most definitely run around with us. He'd be in the drills, doing the drills with us, stuff like that. I just like how he brings all his energy and his passion throughout the game, to the meeting rooms and stuff like that too.
And you mentioned the meeting room, so what's the intentionality there?
Yeah, same thing. He brings that energy every day, and he doesn't skip a beat. And every day it feels like we're going to come in and learn some new information, maybe learn different schemes, stuff like that. So I'm really excited to keep learning with him.
James Franklin's come in. He's brought in this mantra idea of a championship mindset, sort of eliminating everything that doesn't add to winning. For you, being especially where your feet are after going through an injury and such, what is the biggest thing you're trying to take away from these 15 weeks, let alone every single practice?
Just be 1% better every day in the stacked days, for real. Just every day come with this mindset, no mental errors. Just trying to get better at my technique every day and just work on all the small details, and especially in the game, and like just being out, just learning to get back in the field for things, for real.
So next up, obviously, DB, wide receiver, it gets pretty competitive. How has that energy been here early in spring, just, going after it?
No, it's been really good. I'm excited to see all the new guys play, like Jeff Exador from Penn State, some of the Penn State guys, the receiver. I'm excited to go against them and stuff like that. The energy's most definitely been up there, for sure.
Now, did you and Jeff, I know he went to McDonough, did you guys ever face off?
We never faced off, but he came on an official visit up here.
Okay.
And,
spring game.
I think I was one of his tours, just to show him around and stuff like that.
Nice. So we've had Keelan Adams on the show. We've had Chance Wiggins on the show. Both of them said the hardest matchup that they've ever gone against in practice was you. So for you, who's a guy, or maybe some other guys, that always seem to get the best out of you when you line up for a one-on-one in practice?
I want to say both those guys, for sure. It's been a battle.
Almost like you have to.
I'm about to say those two have most definitely been a battle, for sure, since I've been here. We both got here all at the same time, and now early enrollees. So that first spring ball, we was straight out of high school, trying to learn the plays, trying to get to practice, trying to get to class together, all that stuff. But those most definitely been some good battles. For sure, obviously Aiden Green, most definitely every time we're lining up, most definitely got to give him the best thing I got. And then some new guys, Q.
Yeah.
He's most definitely a guy I got to watch out for. He's really fast, for sure. So. Yeah, no, those are some guys.
I mean, you're not stuff for yourself. I think in high school. So.
For sure.
But you talk about those transfers. How good is it to have them come in, like you said, Jeff? Jeff brings a whole different look than like Sean Brown or like a Takai Heath type. Just getting ready to go against all those types of guys in the ACC and beyond.
No, yeah, a lot of the guys brought a lot of different things, like Bill Davis at running back.
Yeah.
So for different guys at different spots. I'm excited just to see what they can bring this season, especially in the Hokie uniform.
So I guess next up, you're talking about coaching the guys not only on the field but also off the field. Where's the best place to go get a bite to eat after a game?
After a game, I would say a lot of the guys like to go to Elrod's for sure after a game, or just I like Buffalo Wild Wings.
What's the go-to order there?
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, and Elrod's too.
Elrod's, I usually get the I don't know what it's called, but it's just rice, chicken, steak, and shrimp, and like some cheese sauce. It's really good. I get that every time. Yeah, no, for sure.
I guess we kind of skipped over there, but winter workouts. Jarrett Ferguson, familiar name, still there in the room though, but they bring in a new strength and conditioning coordinator. Now you coming off your deal, you're still working back, but what was the difference in the weight room and even winter workouts this year?
Yeah, winter workouts was a little bit different for sure from the last couple of years, for sure, but like it was a lot of really intense, really, really good work, a lot of competition for sure, a lot of competition, and a lot of different drills and stuff like that, just to get us ready for the season, good knee bend and good drive and stuff like that.
That's awesome, man. That was Josh Clarke. Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you.